My name is Diane Hoffman, and I'm the Artist Services Manager for ArtSpan. Um, I know most of you know what ArtSpan is because you're here. But of course, ArtSpan is the nonprofit organization that supports the Bay Area artist community. This year is very different. Open Studios is very different this year, of course, because we're doing it virtually. So it's a learning curve for everybody involved. I'm glad you all came here today to get your questions answered and build some confidence about what we're doing going forward. One of the benefits of Open Studios being virtual is that we're able to extend our artists or participating artist community outside of just San Francisco. So many of you or other folks you may know that have studios in the South Bay or the North Bay or the East Bay that have always been scrambling to find a space in the city for that one weekend to do Open Studios. They're actually able to do it right from their Bay Area studios, wherever they may be. So we're having a larger artist community this year. And subsequently, we have a larger visitor availability this year. So folks from really all over the country, even the world, that anyone that has Wi-Fi is going to be able to come to your Open Studios. So that's pretty cool. I encourage everyone to invite folks far and wide. I'm going to introduce Vanessa Wilson, who is the programs manager at ArtSpan. And some of you may have met her and some of you may not have met her.
Hi.
Hi.
Hopefully everybody can hear me. As Diane said, I'm the program manager. I started right before Open Studios 2019. So you might have met some of you in person last year, making the rounds and visiting studios. And this year I'm really excited to be collaborating with all of you for our new virtual Open Studios, which we are really excited about and happy to be able to produce to help artists during this time of COVID and pandemic. So thank you for joining us and trusting us to produce this new event and coming with us on this adventure.
So there's a first question I'm going to address here. Any suggestions on someone who could help build out a website? I recommend, Kelly, that you pose that to the the San Francisco Open Studios support group on Facebook and or the SF Artist Resources page on Facebook. Both of those are great resources for folks that do, we can ask any question or help of folks that can offer suggestions that way. But
there's also, I'm sorry, there's also basic services that offer templates where the template is already together, like Wix, for example, and you can drag and drop your images. And that's like a one way to go. Can be fast.
Yeah, there's a lot of very user-friendly pages like Wix. I use Wix myself and I've been using it for 10 years and I don't have any tech background at all, but it's just very intuitive. I would recommend one like that. I use Artist Run website. They only have templates for artists and are run by actual artists, and your money does not go to a corporation. Okay, so that's another website developer recommendation. Pam Pitt is recommending a site called Artist Run, R-U-N. I'm not familiar with that, but thank you for the recommendation, Pam. Christian Cabaway has said he makes websites. Christian. So Christian and Kelly should have a chat. And if at some point you don't have the opportunity to do that right now here, feel free to contact ArtSpan and we'll make sure you guys connect now. Thank you. Please give an overview about how Booth Central works. Do all visitors have to go live into the booth or are they able to view your work without being live? Yes, they don't have to come in your booth. Of course, ideally, we'd like them to because that's how they're going to have the most personal interaction with you. But for those that are uncomfortable doing that for whatever reason, then they can simply look at your website and any content that you provide in your Booth Central listing is what they'll have access to. So make that as thorough as possible so that the folks that don't enter can still walk away with some information about you. How long does each session last with these groups of 5 visitors? Well, that's up to you. Much like if someone came into your open studio in real person, you know, some might stay for a minute and some might stay for an hour. It's up to you and how, you know, how we finesse that. The folks that are there for an hour hopefully are there more. In this way, we're not offering wine and cheese to these folks, so maybe the ones that just linger for no reason, you know, maybe they won't do that this time. But yeah, there is no limit how long they can stay. It's probably just as much as, you know, until the interaction feels like it's complete. Next question, suggested program or content for the Booth Central event. Your Booth Central event is going to be your Open Studios event. So you're going to be sitting in front of either your laptop or your phone, however you're comfortable having this sort of interaction, very similar to Zoom. And folks will have a chance to look at your the artwork images that you upload to Booth Central, your website, a video if you do upload that, and then if after all that they're like, hey, I want to talk to this person, they're going to click chat, and it'll come into a room similar to this, except for rather than having 80 people, there'll only be up to 5 people at a time. And you'll be able to talk with them, and they can ask you questions like, hey, can you show me that artwork behind you? Or can you tell me more about your work? How do you make it? What do you know, whatever. The usual conversations you would have during an Open Studios event. It'll just be through your screen. People have asked me, would I recommend doing it on a laptop versus a phone? And it's kind of up to you, and it's up to your artwork. If you're able to have everything at arm's length from where you're sitting, then maybe the laptop is the easiest way. You can just pull things over and talk about it. But if you have larger pieces that are on the wall across the way in your studio, then I recommend doing it on your phone so you can be more mobile. You can actually walk over to a piece and hold it up and say, this is what I'm talking about now. But we can talk more about the content of the event a little bit in depth a little later. Hope that's somewhat helpful for you. So yeah, for those of you that missed Judith's earlier question, she was asking how many visitors at a time can be in your Booth Central, and the answer is a maximum of 5 at a time. What sort of video equipment do you need? Well, you need Wi-Fi for sure, but video equipment, again, it's just a matter of either your laptop, your phone, your tablet, you can do it on an iPad, whatever sort of device you use to have this sort of interaction, much like Zoom. But it's really that simple. You don't need any more than what you probably already have. If you are going to do it with your phone, you may want to get one of those handheld kind of like selfie sticks, but they have them specifically, now they're making them more for virtual correspondence type of interaction rather than just taking your picture. But they're really easy to come by. They're not that expensive, but it'll just make it a little easier so that you can have your phone more extended so that you can talk and they can see the work around you at the same time. They also have them so that they have like a steady feature so that as you're moving around, the camera stays level and it's not all tipping all over the place. That would be the only additional probably piece of equipment I would recommend getting if you're going to in fact use your phone. Hi, I think I need a basic overview of how things will work, but if that's too basic, then I can find elsewhere. So we're going to have two practice sessions for every single artist that is registered at Plus or Premier and doing a Booth Central event. You may want to save the dates now. We just moments ago decided that they would be on the afternoon of September 1st. So afternoon would probably be around 2 o'clock and to 2 to 4 p.m. approximately. The actual times are still pending, but we will determine that as soon as possible. The second one will be the evening of September 3rd, and that'll likely be around 6 to 8 p.m. So those will be practice sessions where everyone will be able to log into your booth, try it out, see what it looks like, see what happens when you click different things and try to share screens. ArtSpan staff and the Open Studios Committee will come through and act as visitors so that we can come into your booth and you can have a chance to interact with us and see what it looks like and just get a feel for it so that you come the day of your open studio that it's you have a little bit of experience and confidence knowing what it's going to look like. But like I said before, it's you're going to be sitting at your computer or your phone waiting to receive visitors during that 4-hour period, and as they come into your room, you'll be talking with them much like you would if they were standing with you in front of, inside your studio. You'll be able to share with them your website. You'll be able, if somebody says, they'd like to buy something from you, then you can send them to your point of sale, whether that be on your website or if you can send them a Square invoice or a PayPal invoice or a Venmo invoice. And then, of course, make arrangements for them to either if they're local, to pick up your piece, or if you prefer to take their shipping information. How do I update my booth info? You just simply log back into boothcentral.com, log in, and then all of the fields that you didn't fill out or that you'd like to change, or you can update them up until the date of your, until the event starts. Naya?
It's under my account when you log in. A little window will pop up and one of the selections will be edit your application. So that's how you'll be able to get to it, but you got to select my account tab once you log in.
Okay, there you go. So yeah, you can log in and just click my account. Thank you, Naya. Will we be able to send out booth invites ourselves? Vanessa, do you want to address that?
So I'm not sure if the question is to your individual booth or to your event. We will have the public event links that you can share with your network. So those are 4 different links for the rose, teal, gray, and gold events. That I don't believe there are individual links for somebody to click and go straight into your booth. They will be directed to the full event that has everybody's booth, which will be organized alphabetically. And actually, you all should have received an email confirmation from Booth Central with these links in there, but we will also be submitting them separately to everyone.
But yeah, of course, what I highly encourage everyone to invite everyone in your network, all your collectors, everyone you would normally invite to your open studios. Please encourage them to attend. We're working now on a very strong marketing campaign, but if you've done open studios in the past, this takes an entire community to get the word out and to get people to attend. So please be proactive and also think in terms of, this is a virtual event, so inviting people virtually through email, through social media, those are some of going to be the strongest ways to reach your audience. But of course, we will be sending out the printed guide and the save the date postcards, as we always do. How do you add more images to your profile after registering on Booth Central? Well, like we said before, you just log back in and you click My Account, and it'll give you the opportunity to go in and add anything or update anything that you need to. If you need assistance in doing that, you can of course reach out to the ArtSpan staff. Will help you, but I think you'll find it's pretty self-explanatory when you just go back to your account. Can you walk us through the day of the event? So I'll try. We haven't, of course, it's brand new to all of us, but this is our vision for it. There would be when you log into Booth Central, there at the very top there's like a banner, and in the banner there's like there's a live broadcast, and the ArtSpan staff will be conducting interviews. We'll be telling people about open studios. We'll be directing them to go down and find their artists and how they can interact with the artists. We'll also have some live music. We're going to have some various entertainment. We'll be playing some of the vast videos up there. It'll be 4 hours of live streaming on ArtSpan's part as sort of hosting the event. And then all of the booths will be, as people scroll down, they'll see all of the booths lined up. Typically there's 2 booths per row, and each event will have up to 65 artists in the event. And people can scroll down and just take a look, and they'll be able to click on a booth and look at the images that up to 5 images that you've provided of your work. And then they can click and watch the video, and then they can click chat and just jump into the room, much like this with you, and have a conversation with you, and ask questions and just have a more personal interaction. They also, if folks have like a particular style that they're interested in, or maybe they only are interested in sculpture or photography, whatever it is, there'll be a search engine, so they can go into and type in, mixed media or whatever, and all the folks that have entered that mixed media as their genre will filter in for it. What happens if your booth is full and someone wants to enter? Good question. It'll just say full, come back later. So as people leave, then it'll give the people opportunity to circulate. Also, if you need to walk away from your booth because you want to use the restroom or get water or whatever, you can do that, and it'll say in your booth that this booth is currently not occupied. Try again later. So yeah, you have a little flexibility that way. Can we record the booth chats? Vanessa, do you know the answer to that? I believe the answer is no, but I want to double check.
I don't know. So I've noted it to ask our Booth Central rep. I also feel like it's a no because it might be considered like private and transactional, but we will ask, and I'll be sure to include it in our FAQs that we update regularly. So thank you. I don't know who asked that, but it's a good question.
That was Jessica. Okay, so here's a question about dates. I'm confused on the 4 dates that we were sent out for groups. As an individual participant, do we choose a date, or is it assigned to us? So no, as an individual, you can choose any of the 4 dates that work best for you. Just keep in mind that there's up to 65 participants in each date. So as long as there's room in the date that you would like, then you can choose any date. The larger groups, we assigned to a specific date simply so that they would have the opportunity to all be together if that was important to them, and also to have a more even distribution among all 4 days. So we didn't want all big groups to choose the very first day and have them all crammed in there, and then and then the last date there's only like 12 people. So as an attempt to make it an even distribution of artists, that's why we assign those bigger group sites specific days. But yeah, otherwise you're welcome to choose any date that works for you as an individual. Okay, so Christian says you can't screen share to play videos in Booth Central. Is that correct, Vanessa?
I don't know for sure, but I don't think you can screen share based off of the testing we did.
There's no screen share in Booth Central?
I don't think so, but I've also noted it to ask our rep.
Okay, so let's find out the answer to that, because I was under the impression that you could screen share, but I'd like to find out for sure, and we'll make sure everyone knows the answer to that as soon as we find out. We should probably put that plainly, not only on the website, but in an email to all registered participants. So thank you, Christian, for bringing that Rebecca asks, if someone wants to purchase, how do they do it? Do they just...
Sorry, quick interruption. Someone just messaged in that you can screen share because they saw it in the demo. So,
Yeah.
but I will double check anyway to make sure.
I saw it in the demo too. So yeah, we'll find out for sure. Thank you. So someone's asking about if someone wants to buy your artwork, do they just chat with you verbally and tell us, and then we figure out how to transaction later? Any advice on how to handle sales? Not the actual payment, but how to make it happen easier for the collector. So yeah, you should have, I mean, if you have a point of sale on your website, of course, then they can go directly to your website and purchase and put in the information there. I personally don't have that for various reasons. So what I do is when someone wants to, sees my work through the internet or this way, is I pull up either, I primarily use Square. So I just pull up square.com. I create right there an invoice. I put in the title of the piece, the price, it calculates the tax, and I get their email and I send it to them. And my plan, if it's helpful, is that I'm going to be doing my actual communication with the person through my phone. And then I'm going to have my laptop handy so that I can then put my phone on the tripod so I can still talk to him while I create my Square invoice to send to them. You can do it through Square, you can do it through PayPal, you can do it through, if you have Venmo on your phone, you can do it. You can do your transactions on your phone and talk to people on your laptop, the opposite of what I plan on doing. Either way. But those are my recommendations. Of course, the easiest of all of the suggestions just to have a point of sale directly linked to your website. But I realize not everyone is in a position to do that. Hope that's helpful. If people have more questions about that, again, that might be a good thing to talk to your mentors about in the breakout rooms. It's 12:33 now. I feel like, Enos, if you're ready to do a breakout room, we can do that. And then we'll definitely come back in about 25, 30 minutes and address the rest of the questions in the chat. There are quite a few. And also maybe the mentors can talk about the questions that were asked in the breakout rooms. Is everybody ready for that? Enos, are you ready to break us out? Okay.
Hey.
Hi.
Hi.
Hey,
Hey.
I didn't recognize that cute hat on.
I think I was in a chat.
So during this opportunity, this would be an ideal opportunity to take yourselves off of mute. And ideally, if you're comfortable, I'd love to see your faces, but so we can in real time. But this is a chance for you to ask questions directly of me, and we just have this very intimate little group. So
Yeah. May I ask you a question?
please.
So I think I'm registered for the wrong date. You think I still can re-register?
Oh,
Yeah.
we can probably, it might take a little, then yeah, we might have to cancel it and start over.
Okay.
But
Well,
yeah,
I was rushing things, and so the ones which are in the middle, like 2 dates that I couldn't do for sure, I knew it, and then I could do either the 28th, which is a Saturday, or the last day, which is a Thursday night.
so Natasha, yeah, we can take care of it for you. Just decide for sure which one you want to be in.
Okay.
There is.
Can I have just a couple more days, or do I have to decide right away?
I would suggest you decide as soon as possible so that the one that you want doesn't fill up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it really doesn't matter if you're a morning person or evening person.
I am more of an
sort
evening
of, like,
person, yeah, but then I think that people tend to buy maybe more in the morning. I don't know. Depends whether they are morning or evening persons, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's up to you. I feel like people buy more when they have a glass of wine in their hand, so that to me means evening. So I don't know. Yeah, but maybe take a day to think about it. But probably make your decision and then contact ArtSpan directly.
Uh-huh.
And we'll probably have to do it on the back end to make that change for you.
Okay. Well,
So you
There's one, just to follow up on my question about recording the chats, which I understand not doing, but in the real world, we would collect email addresses. So I'm wondering if there's any way we can find out who visited us. That's really why I was asking. I don't need the recording.
the option there would be to ask them to put their email in the chat and then just, make record of it that way.
Okay.
It's not as easy as just handing them a pen and paper and say, please.
Right, but obviously I didn't
Yeah.
expect it would be, but I thought there might be some way to pick up information.
Yeah.
And I can just see with if I'm lucky enough to have 5 people there, it's going to be crazy. But
Yeah.
at once.
No, I encourage you to make that a part of your routine, so to speak. Like introducing yourself, whatever your couple sentence elevator pitches, and then
Sure.
thanks so much for coming. Can we start off by me getting your name and email?
Yeah.
Whatever's comfortable for you. But as you know from Open Studios, like probably, I mean, even bigger than making a sale is like building
Building a relationship. Yeah.
relationship, staying in touch, and having like ongoing interaction. And there's no way to do that other than getting their email address. So, yeah, good point.
yeah, but don't you feel that getting an email is kind of a closure? You usually do it after. Like, what if they're not interested, and then you're like, okay, give me your email, and they're like, no, goodbye.
Yeah, it could happen. I mean, you can feel out the conversation. I would say, make it an organic ask, of course. I just know that if I personally wait too long, then I'll, depending on what's happening, then sometimes the person will leave and before I've got to ask it. So I try to
Right.
keep it in
And
mind.
then you run down, hello, remember me, give me your email.
Yeah. Right. So yeah, I just try to in all the points I'm trying to make, I keep it at the top of my mind that's
Sure.
one of the most important ones.
Can
Yeah.
I ask something? So I was wondering, what's the best way for the artists who don't have a studio to like show around? If you understand, like there's no way I can put my art on the wall, print them and frame them in my apartment because I don't have a studio. So I'm thinking like, what's the best way to engage with people without showing them frame art and stuff?
What's your medium?
Photography.
Okay. Well, certainly through an online, if you have an online gallery or website, anything that you have, that share things that way with them would be ideal. I would suggest having a couple pieces available, framed, and each put them on the wall, like maybe have them in a stand, just something that's sort of close by, even small things that you can at least have some example that you can talk to them about, visually. But I don't expect for folks that have an art studio, of course, it's fortunate for them, but this is kind of a opportunity for people that are making art out of their home to really be really on the same page as the rest of us that have studios. So you can kind of make just behind you, set up a few things, prop them up against a wall if you don't have space. Consider getting those at the art supply stores, they have the little tabletop easels, just like basic wood easels, and they're not that expensive. It's probably a decent investment to maybe just get 2 or 3 of them, just to have around you, so that the vibe is that there's art around you. But and then also, if they're prints, if you have prints and sleeves, that's even better, because then you can just have a stack of them and pull them up, and and the sleeve is like, if it's in a sleeve and it's ready to ship, then you can have all of them just right at your fingertips. They don't have to necessarily be on a wall, because really you'll be holding it up to the camera anyway, so it's easier to ship photographs that aren't framed, right? It's less expensive for you, less expensive for
Yeah.
the photographer.
You
Yeah, the
can.
question is, do we have to talk? Are we gonna have like turns when we're talking for some time, or no? How that's gonna go?
In your booth?
Yeah, how that goes? Is it just like an open, like you're constantly online for these 4 or 5 hours, or how, yeah, that's
Yeah,
the
you're
yeah.
Somebody comes. Yeah.
waiting, you're basically like this, but you're waiting for people to come in and engage with you. If you're interested in being a part of the live broadcast with ArtSpan, which will be, like I talked about before, that banner at the very top of the Booth Central website, and you want to be, you can join us and we'll ask you a few questions, you know, to promote yourself, and we'll say, you know, go find Maya a few. Oh, Chris, Maya, why did I ask you what your medium is? I know what your medium is. I'm very familiar with your work. It just occurred to me who I'm talking to. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, it's okay.
I know your work by name, but not as more so than face. But so, yeah.
I'm high pace in my work, so that's fine, maybe.
Um, but yeah, so you could be a part of that. That's actually one of the questions that is asked in your Booth Central as you're filling it out. Are you interested in being interviewed by ArtSpan during the live event?
Mm-hmm.
So it's an opportunity. Not everyone wants to do that, but some people will take advantage of that. And it'd probably just be like, you know, 3 or 4 minutes where we just to make conversation, and because we're going to be playing kind of like we're playing hostesses, or it's almost like Booth Central DJs or something, you know, trying to like keep things lively, and so when people log on, they're like, "Oh, this is fun. This is like an art fair," you know, rather than just coming into like a quiet room where they're feeling awkward and don't know what to do. Yeah.
Wow. Do you suggest we play music in our booth
So
then?
I don't suggest you play music in your booth, because we'll be playing music up there
Yeah.
that they can turn down or stop. They don't have to pay attention to what we're doing. But in your booth,
Yeah.
I think you're going to have the most clear communication with no music.
No music.
If for your own amusement while you're waiting for people, you want to have some music off to the side, but probably when you do have people start coming in, like make it so you can turn it off. Because you know, even through Zoom, it's very similar. If you play music, like if I started playing music right now, it would not sound like music to you. It'd sound like a broken old, you know, chime.
Oh no, it should be another device, not the same device.
No,
You know.
even if it's another device, like the way electronically these things are set up.
Oh, because of the yeah, I know what you're talking about. Latency. Yeah.
So it sounds more like interference than pleasant.
It's called latency because of the sound comes later. Yeah. And so if we want to join you in this big like this DJ group, we could join anytime, or how does it work?
No, we would schedule a time for you to do it, and then we would have you you would have to turn off your booth, and then you would log in with ArtSpan. So you would not be able to do both at the same time.
Oh, could it be a different day then? It's like, let's say you're scheduled for one day and then you come during the different day, then it will make sense.
No, because your event is one day.
I know, but then it's like leaving your booth and
yeah, but it'd only be for a few minutes.
I was wondering, can we meet? Can we go also to other artists like during other days?
You can attend as a guest, yes. In fact, much like you would open studios in general, yeah, I encourage you to do that. I'll be at every single one of them myself.
Yeah, cool. So I'm thinking this would be the same as an attendance to like a party where you're not participating the same day, but you could visit your friends.
Yeah, but you won't, if you're going to do the ArtSpan live stream interview, it has to be the same day as your actual event.
Okay.
Okay.
So actually, we are going to, I've asked them to come back as a group so we can have some more questions
All
heard by
right.
everybody.
Thank you, Diane.
Yeah, my pleasure. And of course, I hope you guys know I'm always accessible to you. So um, if something comes up, you can always email me at diane@artspan.org and I'll get back to you right away. I want to make sure everyone, you don't have to wait for the next, there won't be another mentor mixer. So I imagine there'll be more questions that come up. So just know that I'm accessible to you guys.
Yeah, so the rooms was pretty successful. Really nice.
Good. I ended up having my own little group myself with about 5 of us. So
The people that came last, so I didn't have time to assign.
that's fine. That's good. It was perfect.
So Diane, if we have questions that were posed to us, do we put them in the chat or can we ask you right now?
I would say let's go ahead and ask me right now. Oh, but first, I'm sorry. Before we do, I was in the middle of a conversation with Jessica, who asked about the calendar program that, and I'm going to let Inas answer her question because Inas knows the most about that.
So it's I can spotlight myself. It's just one of the programs that we are suggesting as a way to create appointments. So you can create appointments for up to 15 minutes or however long you would like. And if you feel safe, you can have them in person. But it depends how you feel. But of course, we're hoping that everyone will have them online. But if you choose to have them in person, you can use that platform, but you can also use the iCalendar or whatever you feel comfortable with. But that one, it was just a suggestion.
But there's something on the Open Studios website that we can get it on or something. That Diane thought it was connected to your site.
Yeah, on the ArtSpan. I can send you screenshots if the did not make sense.
Great. Thank you, guys. Okay, so Barbara, I'm sorry to cut you off before. Yes, please let us know what was discussed in your breakout room.
Well, this was just one very specific thing was in terms of Booth Central, we were talking about how you can register now and then you can add your images later and so on. And one of the participants was saying, well, I said, well, it has to be a specific size. It needs to be 800 by 480 pixels. So sort of like slightly horizontal orientation to keep that in mind when you're uploading your images. And he was saying that he thought that we were able to adjust the sizes of the images. So I just wanted to check on that and see if that was something.
The sizes of the images are only horizontal?
Okay, so first, if you have already been accepted, like your registration has been approved, which I did the last round of approvals this morning at 10:30 a.m. So if you applied after that, you still can't edit your booth. I apologize. I will get to it as soon as I can. Once you've been approved, you should have received 2 emails. One email announcing your approval, the second email with a bunch of links from Booth Central. One of those links is the live link. You can click on that link and it will show you exactly what the event will look like as a guest, like presented to the guest. And I highly recommend you reference that link regularly as you update your booth, because you will be able to see what your banner image looks like, what your other images look like, what your video looks like, how your text is showing. We've noticed that even though Booth Central recommends 25 words, it doesn't seem to limit it. So we still highly recommend that you follow the instructions we're giving you, because it is what's going to display best on the platform. In terms of the images, 800, I don't remember the exact specifications. The way I've been thinking about it, if this helps, is Instagram. Instagram is built for specific image sizes. That's the image size that's going to work the best. However, you can reformat photos to function within that square. So if you have a square photo or vertical photo and you obviously can't readjust it to a banner width, you can put it like on negative space. if that makes sense, so that your square photo is centered or your vertical photo is centered, and maybe the background is black, maybe it's teal, you know, whatever works best. That's my recommendation to you. However, I, again, continue to reference that live link so that you can see what your images are, how they are appearing, and so you can adjust them accordingly so that they're coming through as you want them to come through. So I hope that helps.
So this is an example where I've put 3 images of my work onto the 800 by 480 format. I'll show you another example where I got, here's an example where I put 4 of them. So see, these are all vertical pieces, but I put them side by side so that they filled up the 800 by 480 format. So that's an example. Let's see.
Diane, could you show us what it looks like with the banner? Like, could you show us what you did so far?
For my banner, yeah, this is what my,
Oh, okay, that's you.
yeah, so I put a picture of me with my work and then this. So this is like, this is going to be the first image people see that.
Oh, that's a good idea.
And then they can go forward with the other images of my actual artwork.
That looks good, Diane.
Looks really good.
Thanks.
Yeah, that looks great.
So hopefully that,
Yeah.
If your banner doesn't have your name on it, does your name still come up, or?
Yes.
yeah, your name will be there for sure. But I just thought that, I also think, you know, when people see who they're going to see a picture of the person that they're going to be talking to, it's a little less intimidating. You know, it's like, you know, for them just to jump into a room and like, oh, who am I going to meet? It just takes the edge off a little bit, I think.
That's smart.
Good point. Yeah.
Really good.
Where is going to be your name? Where is going to be your name position? On the top, in the middle? Oh, where?
It'll be, so there'll be that in your first banner, and then underneath it, it'll say your name, and then it'll have your little description of what you do, what your medium is.
I wanted to just ask a couple of the questions that came out of our group. People were asking if guests who are coming need to register in any way to Booth Central to get in.
Yes, they do.
Yes, they do. Okay. And can you share a direct URL to your booth, or do they have to go through the whole ArtSpan everything to get there?
No, I'll let Vanessa answer, but we will have a registration link for you to share directly with all of the folks that you're inviting. We will also be sharing that link extensively to our, 10,000 people on our mailing list. So, but Vanessa, is there anything you want to elaborate on that?
Yeah, I think I might have answered this earlier. So there is no direct link that you can supply that someone can click and it'll spit them straight out into your booth. So the links that we will be sharing and advertising will be the event links. So if you are in the teal event, that's the event link you're going to want to share. If you are in the gray event, you want to share your gray event link. And I think this is hugely beneficial for everyone because we have 65 artists in each event. So if all 65 are, if we're all communally promoting these events, then just imagine that reach. So I hope that helps answer the question. In terms of the ease of accessibility for the guest, I registered as a guest for my first Booth Central event that I attended as a guest. It's very easy. It was much like the vendor registration where it just asks you for your name and your email, and then that's it. And then you're in. And basically what will happen for them is they will get an email confirmation letting them know that they've registered for this event. It'll remind them what day it's on. It'll ask them if they would like to add it to their calendar. And then on the day of the event, they will get another email. It'll have the direct link once again for them to click into and access the live event. So I hope this helps clarify some things. Yes. Also, all of this for our guests is clearly outlined in our printed guide, which is being mailed directly to our patrons as well as your mailing lists if you provided them. So there's literally I think 6 pages of just clearly breaking down exactly how they can access each event. And there are also direct links through our updated website, which will continue to be updated. And it is artspan.org/SFOS, which you should have seen in the event listing as well.
So it sounds as if we already have this, the links, color-coded links for the
Yeah, so when you get the confirmation email from Boost Central, it should be included there. However, we will also be sending out emails to each of you with the guest link to promote it. That email has not gone out yet, so do not worry if you haven't received it yet. I'm just triple checking that all the links work. I'm waiting on Boost Central to get back to me about why our other link didn't work yesterday, which I know some of you noticed. So we're just making sure that we're covering all our bases before we send more links out to you, because we don't want to cause any further confusion. So we will be sending you the links to share with your networks, and we will also be promoting those same links, which are the event links, not individual links to individual booths.
Okay, I have a question to share from our breakout room, and this is in regards for individuals who are signing up at the basic level. And looking at the graph, it appears that if one signs up at the basic level, then one does not have access to Booth Central. Is that correct? Anyone? Diane?
If you are at the basic level, you do not have access to Premier Plus level features, which is our Booth Central event.
All right. Thank you.
That's just because I don't want you to double your efforts. I got a registration from Booth Central, not from you.
The registration confirmation.
From Booth Central.
Yeah, so all your confirmation will come from Booth Central. If I message you privately through Booth Central, I'll sign my name, but it'll be coming through Booth Central.
Okay.
Sorry for that mix up.
It's okay, I'll see if I can get in it now. Thank you.
Is there going to be tech help during the event if people are having trouble working through this process? Is there going to be some place where they can go to get assistance?
Yes, so during the live event, Booth Central has a live chat. It's on the bottom left, so you can click it and use it. I used it as a guest, and I received a response within a couple of minutes, and they walked me through my issue, which at the time was that my camera wasn't working properly. So yes, is the answer. It'll be through Booth Central because staff will be doing the live streaming. But yeah, this is also why we're doing demo days, to make sure that everybody's tech is working properly and everything's set up correctly.
I have two questions that we got in our breakout meeting, which now that I'm thinking might, anyway. So if you go right now on Booth Central and you look at the event itself, it shows a list of vendors, or I'm saying vendors, artists that will be participating, and you can't click on them to see their booth yet. And so I'm assuming that that means that the booths are not technically live until the day of, like during the event itself, right?
No, you can actually see it. I just clicked a link. You can see what the booths are going to look like for, like, I just clicked in one event. So.
Oh, you did? Okay. So
yeah,
it's like
just
live
like the
right now.
URL/live, and then you can see what the event's going to look like.
And, but is it live right now?
No, the event isn't live, but you can see what it looks like. But so people can look at your website and they can read your information.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they can see my profile, if you will. Okay, cool. So I've already started all that, so you could probably see mine right now if you went and looked. Right. Yeah. And then will there be, I think you might have started talking about this before I heard the whole thing. I know you were saying we can make appointments for people to come on. Does Booth Central offer any sort of like time limit for people to come into your booth? It's just.
No, yeah, there's just like an open studio event, you know, some people will stay for a couple of minutes, some people will stay up an unusually long amount of time. So it's kind of, I always find that for the folks that maybe linger and it's uncomfortable, to find some comfortable language to say, well, thank you so much. It was really nice meeting you. I'm waiting for some folks to come in, however, whatever it is to keep things circulating. But yeah, there is no set time limit on how long they can be there. I mean, maybe if it feels like like this is your next big collector. Maybe you want to just
right.
make them as comfortable as possible to hang out, you know.
Diane, with that in mind, at the end time of the event, is Booth Central going to like immediately shut down? So let's say you're in the middle of a sale or a conversation with a collector and you've got 1 minute left. Is it going to like bump everybody out, or do you have a chance to wrap it up?
Good question, Danielle. Vanessa, can you, I don't want to assume I know the answer to that. Do you have the answer?
I don't have the answer. It's a good question, so I've noted it for our Booth Central rep. I don't know what happens if someone's in your booth. I do know that once the event time has concluded, the live, like if you're not already in the, like you can't click to enter, if that makes sense. So like the live link, if you are just coming in and you want to click to enter the live event, you won't be able to. For people who are already in there, I'm not sure how exactly that works, if there's a countdown or if you're immediately booted out. So I will check and add it to our FAQs and include it in the next email.
Thank you, Vanessa. Danielle and everybody else, my suggestion at that point, if it's 5 minutes before the end of your event, I would immediately take that opportunity to make sure that you have the contact information for the folks that are in your room, explain that this is about to end, but you know, you'd like to continue the conversation. Could I get your email, your phone number, or whatever they're comfortable with, and so that you're not cut too short. But we will find the answer if they're able to hang out for a minute or two. I don't know, but
Also, is there any kind of sign in where you can, you know, like collect the people who are coming into your room and getting their email addresses?
no, but I would recommend you do that on your own. Ask them to put it in the chat, just like you would.
Can you save the chat?
You can copy and paste the chat. Yeah, you can highlight everything and paste it into a Word doc or a Google Doc or whatever, however your doc, you know.
But it's not like Zoom where you can click the bottom at the button at the bottom and save the chat from the period.
Another good question to find out from our Zoom rep. I mean, you know, we've been asking them a million questions, so this is wonderful. This is the hive mind thinking of things that we have not thought of. So thank you. We'll find out for you, Daniel. Thank you. So that said, you guys, it's 1:22, so we do got about 10 minutes left. I have put in the chat my personal, well, not my personal, my ArtSpan email. I realize that not all questions are going to get answered in this 90-minute today. But I just want to make sure you know I'm accessible to you guys. I will answer every question if you email it to me. So just please have that available to you, and you're not bothering me. This is my job, is to help you. So ask away. But yes, who had another question? Okay.
So since I signed up late, I could only sign up at the basic level. Can you tell us what the basic level would look like, since we can't sign up for Booth Central? What that studio visit or show entail?
So with the basic level, it's intended for you to create your own version, whether you set up your own Zoom event or whatever platform you choose to use and create for yourself. And ArtSpan will put that in the online guide so that as they're looking for Open Studios artists that they're interested in, you'll be included in the mix, and your date of your event and your time and your links to get for them to find you will be listed there for you.
So there's no way to upgrade right now.
Sorry, Cecile, give me 1 second. I'm sorry.
Is there a way to upgrade so that we could be a part of Booth Central?
Vanessa, is that an opportunity left available?
So if we were to upgrade at this point, you wouldn't have all of the features. You would basically just be in Booth Central. I would have to double check with our executive director if that's something that we're offering or not, because the higher registration tiers included like our printed guide, additional advertising, and also we have these additional virtual events. So I don't have a direct answer for you right now, but I will, if you can privately message me your email address, I'll look into it and get back to you.
Great, thank you.
Cecile, you had a question?
Was this what is the suggested length of the video?
Oh, we would say anywhere from 2.5 to 3.5 minutes.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I have a question.
Some on the subject of the video, someone had put in the chat that they're asking, can they film the video of them painting outside? Sure, you can make it whatever you want. I recommend that you have, rather than just painting, that you make it also some verbal commentary talking about what you do, and but yeah, you can do it outside. It doesn't have to be in your studio. It could be anything. If anyone would like some video suggestions, I actually have a long list that I've taken from our vast videos, but I've reformatted them so that people that are making their own videos can have some suggested ideas of things to talk about and ways to put it together. So again, it's Diane with 2 N's at artspan.org. You can email me and I'm happy to share that with you. We have time for maybe a couple more questions.
I have a question.
Okay.
Who on the staff would help me set up a video and how to upload it to the Booth Central? I have not done that before. With my phone, I could do a video, but
yeah, we're not available to help you create the video, unfortunately. That was part of the plus level registration, is for the
right. But just with somebody who's techie enough to just guide me, or is that not?
There's a lot of information on how to upload videos to YouTube or Vimeo. Those are the 2 things that you need. So yeah, you should be able to Google information about it.
Okay, thank you.
Basically want to figure out how to get it onto YouTube, and then you just take your YouTube, once it's on YouTube, it'll create a link, and that's what you put the link into the Booth Central.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. And again, you can reach out to me at ArtSpan if you need more help after that.
Okay, thanks.
Is there one more person that has an important question to ask? Yes, I see your hand, Jessica. Go for it.
I put it in the chat anyway. Is there an estimate of when the guide will be mailed? That was all. Quick question.
That's a good Vanessa question.
It'll be in hand on, hold on, Monday. It's the Monday before our first event, so I want to say the 14th. Yeah, Monday the 14th, everyone should have it in their hands.
Great, thank you.
And people were asking if there's any place that you can pick up guides.
There might be. We will be getting some at our office. The only complication that we're currently trying to figure out is we are all obviously working remotely, given the current situation. So we haven't figured out the logistics of how we will be handling that. We also have a list of other sites that are interested in bulk orders. So once we've actually figured out how that looks like, with consideration to everybody's health and safety, we will let you guys know. So that's my answer.
Thank you.
And you guys, please, you've all been invited to be a part of the SFOS support group on Facebook. I encourage you to make use of that. If it's a question that is specific to ArtSpan, do not post it in there for an ArtSpan staff member to see. That is meant for you guys all to answer each other's questions. So it's meant for the folks that were here in this meeting today to help the folks that weren't in the meeting today. And it's more for your, to mentor each other and to help out, much like the SF Artist Resources page is. If you're not a member of that either, please join that. But pose some questions there. But if it's definitely an ArtSpan only question, like about your membership, your account, your, things that that must be answered by a staff member, then of course contact us. The general email is info@artspan.org, but I'm the artist services manager, so I will get back to anyone that emailed me at Diane, DIANNE @artspan.org. And I hate to cut us short because I know that not everything got answered today, but thank you guys all for coming. I appreciate you are making every effort to be make this open studio successful for each other and for yourselves. And
Diane, are you going to post this video on Facebook so people can refer back to it and others can see what's happening?
I will, yes, as soon as I'm able to download it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You guys are doing a great job.
Yay!
Thank you.
Very challenging. Very Bravo.
Thank you very much. Yes.
Thank you.
Oh,
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you. Take care.
Best wishes.
Bye.
Thanks.
Good luck to everyone. Bye. Bye.
Wine and cheese at my house.